Hello and welcome to Introduction to Financial Technology. My name is Jonathan Godby. I teach the Foundations of FinTech course for Georgia State University and the Georgia FinTech Academy. The Georgia FinTech Academy course is open to anyone who is a student in the University System of Georgia. In this video, I want to give you an overview of the course, explain why FinTech is fun, and why it's a great time to be studying FinTech. Module 1 is the introduction, and it answers the question, what is FinTech? So, FinTech is money. In Module 2, we'll take a deep dive into money. Money has three functions. It's a store of value, a medium of exchange, and a unit of account. On the screen, you see many different paper currencies, and one of the first FinTech inventions was paper currency. Rather than holding physical gold and having to haul it around wherever you went, you could have a piece of paper that said you had a claim on gold. That requires trust. And really, money is about trust. If you're holding US dollars, which are not backed by gold or anything else, whether you're holding them physically or in a bank account, you're trusting the US government. Look at the currencies on the screen. If you hold any of those currencies, you're storing value in those currencies and you're trusting the government that issued those currencies. We're not going to talk much about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in this course, but we do give you an optional path where you can take a deep dive if you want to. But your takeaway for now is Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were invented because of a lack of trust in various governments. FinTech is banking. Modern banking, as we think of it, probably started in Italy with the Medici family around 1500. It's obviously changed over the years, but it has the same three core functions today that it's always had. Banks take deposits, facilitate payments, and make loans. The question for us is, how is technology making those things better? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, or 30 years ago, you had to go into a physical bank branch to do a lot of banking. Now you can do it online with your phone. Banks are heavily regulated. There are a lot of rules and regulations that tell banks what they can and cannot do. So now that it's time to innovate and change things with new technologies, how can they do that? How can they partner with FinTechs, these startup companies, with these innovative ideas and great new technologies? How can banks partner with them to make banking better? That's module number 3. FinTech is payments. One of the core functions of banking is to facilitate payments, but it's a very complex process, and again, it's changing because of technology. Again, banks are regulated, so they're limited in the things that they can do. In this module, module number 4, we'll talk about what goes on behind the scenes when you tap a credit card or a debit card or use Apple Pay or Venmo or Cash App. Here are some of the players listed on the screen. Exactly how does that work? Who's innovating? What can be done to reduce friction in payments? And when I say reduce friction, I mean just make payments easier. So if you want to buy something online, you can do it with very little effort. If you want to send money to family or friends across the street or across the ocean, how can you do that easier and more efficiently? FinTech is cybersecurity. That's our next module, module number 5. If I'm paying online, I'm banking online, I want to make sure that's secure. Sophisticated criminals don't go into banks like they did 50 years ago with a gun and say, give me all your cash. Sophisticated criminals are stealing identities. They're trying to log into your bank account. They're trying to hack your credit card. They're sophisticated. They know cybersecurity. They know the protections that have been put in place. They're trying to get around them. So FinTech in part is the good guys making financial services secure. And finally, module number 6, FinTech is the future. One of the most exciting things about this course is, unlike math or many other subjects that's been the same forever, FinTech is going to be different in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. By studying FinTech and going beyond just this course, you'll learn how things have been done, how they are being done, and technologies that may change the way things are done, so you'll get to be part of shaping the future. Atlanta in Georgia is a hub of the FinTech world. Let me explain why. The Federal Reserve oversees the payment system in the U.S. So anytime money is sent, they're the ones that's looking over the shoulder of the companies that are doing things behind the scenes to make sure that they're following the law, protecting consumers, and doing the right things. If I want to start a new business, I want to be around the regulators. That's like talking to the umpire, the referee of a game, and saying, hey, I want to do this. Is this legal? Is this the way it should be done? Am I doing this correctly? So you want to have close proximity to those guys. Well, the Federal Reserve, as you may know, has banks in different major cities like New York, Boston, Philadelphia, and those Federal Reserve banks have different responsibilities. It's the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank whose specialty is overseeing the payment system. So if you want to start a company in FinTech, in payments, you want to be in Atlanta so you can talk to the regulators. Pictured here is Dennis Lockhart. He's a former president of the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank. You'll get to see an interview with him. So we have BitPay that came out of Atlanta. They allow you to pay with cryptocurrencies. We have Greenlight, which was started by a dad who wanted to get money to his kids but didn't have cash and didn't want to give them a credit card. He wanted to give them a way to spend some money electronically. He wanted to be able to teach them about spending and financial literacy. You have FinTech Ventures, which is a venture capital fund that invests exclusively in FinTech companies. All those are located here in Atlanta, along with ATDC. So you see on the map, the ATDC is an Advanced Technology Development Center. There are tons of companies there. They're hoping to be the next BitPay or the next Greenlight, the next Square, the next big company. And they're always looking for talent, and you could be that talent. So in this course, one of the things I'm most proud of is we've interviewed 3 former students. All 3 of these guys have gone through the FinTech Academy. They agreed to sit down for an interview and talk about their experience, talk about the things that they've learned, and help explain banking and money and payments and all the things that we're going to talk about in this course. There's a principle called Chesterton's fence, and it applies to FinTech. So we're trying to innovate, right? So G.K. Chesterton had this great quote, which is shown here. I'll put it in plain English. If you see a fence and you think you want to take it down, you can't do that until you can tell me why the fence is there. And that leads to kind of 4 principles of innovation. One is we need to understand the financial theory. Why are we doing the things the way that we're doing them? We've done this for hundreds or thousands of years. Why is it this way? Second, is there a technology that can make it better? Too often people see a new technology, it's like a shiny new toy, and they just want to use it just because they want to use it. But we need to understand, okay, here's what we're trying to do, here's the way it currently works with the technology we currently have. If we add this technology, if we tear this fence down and put this new technology in, will it make this better? If it does, we should do it. And it makes it better if there's an economic benefit. If we make money by doing it and other people are better off because we did it. And last, do the regulators let us do it? So does the government say that's okay to do? Or does the government say, no, 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 you can't do that? So we have to understand finance. Finance is not a prerequisite for this course. Many of you probably have not had finance. There's a video that in about 2 minutes gives you the big picture of finance. From there, you'll have a general understanding to think about how innovation can happen. I want to close talking about trust. Think about a vending machine. If there was complete trust, there would be no vending machines. You just have a refrigerator with Coke in it and a sign that says $2 a bottle. People would walk up, they'd get the Coke out of the fridge, nobody would ever steal any. They put the $2 in a bucket, nobody would ever steal that money. But that doesn't happen. So technology can be a substitute for trust. That's what a vending machine is. I mean, Coke could hire somebody to sit there and sell the Cokes, but that's going to cost way too much money. But if there was a machine that would allow me to pay with cash or credit card or debit card or however I want to pay, and it would give me the Coke and nobody had to be there, then Coke is better off because they're making money. You're better off because you get the drink that you want. That's a huge economic benefit. And the state says, yeah, that's fine to do it. So it gets all 4 pillars, right? We understand the theory of why we want to do it. We understand the new technology. It's an economic benefit. And the state lets us do it. So I want to close with a question. Think about the people who you know. They need to earn money, and we're not really going to talk about the earning part of it. But sometimes they want to lend money. They want to invest. They want to save for retirement or invest for whatever reason. Sometimes they need to borrow money, maybe to buy a new car or a new house, or for whatever reason to start a company. Maybe not just borrow money, but to obtain money, to get funds to do something. They want to store money, and they want to transfer money or make payments. So think about those: lend, borrow, store, transfer. What challenges do they face? And again, think about the people you know, yourself, the people in your family, your friends. What challenges do they face? And then what technology exists to make lending, borrowing, storing, and transferring money easier and better, which in turn makes their lives better and society a better place. I hope you enjoy the course. We had fun putting it together. I hope to see you in a future class at the Georgia FinTech Academy.